The Kethamori hunting lodge stretched across 3 kilometers of crystalline terrain on Nexus Prime, its obsidian walls gleaming under the twin suns. Within its halls, the most prestigious members of the Galactic Hunting Consortium displayed their prizes, the rarest, most dangerous creatures from across known space. The centerpiece of their collection was not a beast but something far more valuable, a human. Captain Sarah Chen hung suspended in a biostasis field, her brown hair floating weightlessly around her shoulders. Her uniform bore the insignia of the Terran colonial fleet, and even in forced unconsciousness, her jaw remained set with defiance. The placard beneath her containment unit read, Homo sapiens, Terra, Sol System, the last of her kind, acquired after the pacification of Earth, 2387. Vextar Keth, prime hunter of his pride, stood before the display with his scaled chest puffed out in satisfaction. His reptilian features bore the ritual scars of 1,000 hunts, each mark representing a species brought to extinction by his hand. Today he entertained potential buyers from across the galaxy. "Behold!" Vextar hissed, his forked tongue tasting the air. "The crown jewel of my collection." Humans were said to be the most dangerous prey in the galaxy. Their homeworld required a full fleet bombardment to subdue. This specimen was the captain of their final resistance vessel. A Zeltharian delegate, its crystalline body refracting the chamber's light, chimed its interest. The stories speak of their unpredictability, their refusal to yield even when faced with certain death. Merely propaganda, Vextar dismissed with a wave of his clawed hand. They were clever, yes. Tool users with primitive faster-than-light travel, but in the end they burned like any other world. This one was captured when her ship's reactor failed. She has been unconscious for 3 cycles now. What Vextar didn't mention was the 37 ships Captain Chen had destroyed before her vessel finally succumbed to damage. He didn't speak of the way human resistance fighters had fought to the last breath on every world they'd colonized, or how they'd rigged their own settlements to explode rather than surrender. Such details were unnecessary for sale purposes. As the group moved to examine other trophies, the last Thylorian pack leader, a crystallized vegan tree mind, the preserved head of a Centaurian warchief, none noticed the subtle fluctuation in the human's biostasis field. Captain Chen's eyes had opened. Sarah Chen had been awake for 2 days, carefully studying her surroundings while maintaining the appearance of unconsciousness. The biostasis field was designed to keep specimens alive but docile, slowly cycling nutrients and suppressants through their systems. However, it was calibrated for known species. Human physiology, with its unique adaptations and stubborn resilience, presented variables the Kethamori had never encountered. Her metabolism had gradually adapted to the foreign compounds, and her enhanced military implants, microscopic devices that boosted healing and resistance to toxins, had been working overtime to neutralize the sedatives. More importantly, the heating element in her left boot, designed for extreme weather survival, had been slowly building up an electromagnetic charge from the stasis field's energy output. The tour group had moved to the next wing when Chen made her move. A careful shift of her ankle activated the boot's heating system, sending a targeted electromagnetic pulse through the biostasis field's control matrix. The containment field flickered once, twice, then failed completely. Chen dropped to the floor in a crouch, her body screaming from days of immobility. She had perhaps minutes before automated systems detected the breach. Her eyes swept the trophy room, taking in the horror surrounding her. Dozens of extinct species, the last of their kinds, displayed like ornaments for the amusement of monsters. The Kethamori had made one critical error in their assessment of humanity. They had studied human tactics, human technology, even human biology, but they had never truly understood the human heart, or the rage that could burn within it when confronted with such systematic cruelty. Sarah found what she was looking for in the environmental controls. The lodge's atmosphere was maintained by a complex system that could adjust for the breathing requirements of hundreds of species. It also contained highly flammable gas mixtures for certain exhibits. Her fingers flew over the alien interface, her military training and xenotechnology serving her well. She rerouted the Thylorian methane reserves, redirected the vegan oxygen streams, opened the plasma conduits meant for the mineral displays. The atmospheric processors, designed with safety protocols for known species, had no safeguards against the particular combination she was creating. Alarms began blaring throughout the complex as she made her final adjustments. Heavy footsteps echoed in the corridors as Kethmori guards rushed toward the trophy room. Vexitar's roar of rage echoed through the halls as he realized what had happened. Chen stood in the center of the room, surrounded by the remains of extinct civilizations, her hand poised over the ignition control. When the first guards rounded the corner, weapons raised, she looked directly at Vextar. "You want to know what makes humans dangerous?" she said, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustics. "We don't hunt for sport. We don't take trophies, but when we see evil," her finger moved toward the control, "we burn it all down." Vexitar lunged forward, but he was too late. The explosion that followed could be seen from orbit. The Kethmori hunting lodge, with its priceless collection of galactic extinction, became a pillar of fire that burned for 3 days. The shockwave shattered crystalline formations for kilometers around, and the smoke cloud was visible from the planet's 3 moons. Sarah Chen's body was never found, but then again, neither was evidence of her death. In the months that followed, other Kethmori facilities across the galaxy began experiencing mysterious accidents. Hunting ships would suffer reactor failures in deep space. Trophy warehouses would be found empty, their security systems disabled with impossible precision. The Galactic Hunting Consortium tried to dismiss these incidents as coincidences, but whispers spread through the darker corners of known space. Whispers that spoke of a ghost ship crewed by the dead hunting the hunters. Stories told of humans who refused to stay extinct, who carried the rage of their entire species in their hearts. Vextar survived the explosion, though the scars would mark him forever. He never hunted again. In the quiet of his recovery chamber, he would sometimes wake from nightmares, remembering the look in the human's eyes, not fear or desperation, but something far more terrifying. Pure burning justice. The last human may have died that day on Nexus Prime, but the legend of humanity's vengeance had only just begun to spread through the stars, a warning that some prey, when cornered, becomes the predator.